Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at this little REDCAMP tarp here and how it's going to relate to my use with it in my scooter and how I'm going to make a temporary shelter out of it. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today I got a little project and we're actually going to do this and kind of experiment as we're doing it. I have not messed with this at all, and what I'm thinking about is setting up some kind of tarp to carry in the little prepper survival scooter, so that if I need to shelter or take shelter from bad weather, or if the scooter breaks down and I'm on the side of the road and beating down sunlight, you know, I have a way to shelter myself a little bit. And that's where this comes into play. This was a, what is this, 18 bucks from Amazon. I will put a link down below if you're interested. This wasn't sponsored or anything. I just decided to buy this thing. It's 18 bucks. It's a nice 210D Oxford ripstop polyester fabric. It is waterproof, and it is about 10 ounces or 0.66 pounds or 300 grams. And I have it all kind of undone here. You'll notice the grommets on the end there. You have grommets. You have these little snaps. I'll probably end up not using these. I'm not sure, but I'll keep them on there because they're handy to have. And of course, you have a place for your spikes, or stakes, I should say. Now, how I'm setting this up, okay, with the scooter, is I intend on putting the scooter here and kind of attaching it to the scooter in some way. And again, we're doing this live. I haven't planned this out at all. And slanting it down like this into the ground and driving two of these plastic stakes into the ground with that and that in front. So that way you kind of have a lean-to kind of shelter with the scooter on one side. I'm debating whether to cover the scooter. Might be a good idea if it's a really bad rainstorm. I don't want everything getting soaking wet and destroyed. But, you know, this is more for that kind of a thing. This is more for a short-term shelter, maybe one night, overnight type thing. There is no ground cover on this, so I'm going to be on the ground wherever I am. So that's really all it is. Out here we have been known to have some really nasty, quick monsoon-type weather. And as a matter of fact, today outside looks all gloomy and dark. It'll probably be sunny by the time I go out there. But this morning it was gloomy and dark. And the day before yesterday we had a little bit of rain. But this is our monsoon season, if you could say that. And that's really what I want this for, is protection from, you know, riding along and all of a sudden, bam, it gets pitch black out and you got a huge storm. Of course you don't want to do that. Also, too, if you get stuck somewhere and you do need a shelter over you, this will do it pretty well. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this. Like I could mount it on the bike like this, pin one side back here and pull a string. I do have paracord in the bike, so we're going to be maybe attaching it to trees if I wanted to, or do a ridge line. There's a ton of different ways to do this. But I'm talking about completely freestanding, not relying on trees or anything like that, just setting it up so that I have a shelter over me should I need it for rain, should I need it to sleep the night, should I need it to protect myself from sunlight, whatever, if I get stuck on the side of the road. So, with that said, we're going to take it outside, and we're going to take the scooter outside. The scooter really only has 3 things left to be done on it, and none of them are mechanical. I do have to fill up the rear tire because it sat forever and it got low. It's just a little low, it's not bad. I do have to register it. Unfortunately, in Nevada right now, if you go up on Monday at 5 in the morning to wait till they open at 7, they'll tell you, okay, here's your appointment, come back on Friday. And you have to bring the scooter up both times, so I need somebody to take me up there with the scooter on a flatbed, because you can't drive it without a license, and you can't get a movement without a license plate, and you can't get a movement permit without for scooters. So I'm kind of stuck on that. I'll have to wait till it's a little bit less crowded. I figure by the end of summer, or by, you know, at least by the end of August, it'll be a little more sane that I can get up there and do that. And that's only like a one-time fee of 90 bucks forever. You get a plate. There's no more recurring registration or anything in Nevada. And I do need to kind of clean it up a little bit underneath. You know, just wipe it off. I know it's going to get dirty again, but if I'm going to take it out its first time, I want it to be clean. So, let me get this outside with the scooter. You'll get to see what it looks like. It's all finished. I got the basket on it and everything. And we will try and set up a little bit of a shelter with using this tarp. Now, what I had previously, really quick, I'll tell you this big heavy thing, okay? It's the cheap, thick, kind of heavy, you know, shelter, tarp. And I do have some paracord on here. I probably will be taking this paracord, and I'll probably be ditching this bag. I figure there's no need for a bag. If I wrap that up with the paracord around it, I'm saving a little weight. Plus I can toss the 2 stakes in there too. So let me get it out there, and let's give it a try and see what we come up with. because this is totally flying by the seat of my pants video here. All right, see you outside in a second. All right, so I just got this set up in the corner of my yard here. For those of you wanting to see the final project, here it is. I'm going to lift you up and carry you around a little bit. I just put a basket back there because if I'm going to be using this, I'm going to be loading that basket up with stuff and not going to be trying to have a little tiny trunk that I can't put stuff in. So it's all done, all finished. Like I said, a few little tiny things to do still, but not much. Camo job I think came out awesome. I've had a bunch of people ask me if it's a wrap of some kind or something. I'm like, no, it's just me with a sponge. So anyway, we have goods, survival goods I should say, in the seat, underneath the seat there, but not a lot, and that's why we were trying to reduce weight with this, because I don't want to be carrying, 50, 60 pounds worth of stuff and slowing the scooter down. It's not fast to begin with. It probably only does 30 miles an hour top speed. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to attach this to the scooter itself, and then we're going to angle it down and make it into kind of a shelter that can cover probably the bike and myself, although the bike isn't necessary if it's if it's raining. It'll be fine in the rain. So we're going to try that out. So give me a few minutes to attach it, and I'll show you how I attached it to the bike itself. Then we'll put the spikes down in the ground and see how the tent comes out. All right, so after a little bit of finagling and moving things around, my basic idea worked. I did need to move the connections around a little bit. I did need to move the tarp around a little bit. I tried connecting the tarp to the scooter this way, but that's way longer than the scooter, so I ended up with it sagging in the middle and making a big mess. Didn't want to do that, so I used a little bit of a shorter, but a longer kind of end that way, and I used a little bit of shorter side this way on the scooter, and I'll show you how I have it attached. Through the basket here, I just put that loop through there, and let's see if we can look underneath in there. I have the little carabiner in there. There you go. Can you see that? There's a carabiner connected to it. So that's nice and secure there. In the front here, I had to put some paracord around, and I secured it with a carabiner too in case it's really windy, because we do get high winds out here. This I'm going to have to tie a little tighter and clean up that mess on the end. I'm going to have to tie it a little tighter, and I might even find a different place to attach it. But for now, my plan worked. It worked pretty well. So I'm pleased with that. I might even put some paracord through here and just attach it here so it's nice and taut and tight, because I have that other mirror to contend with, and I had to kind of fold it flat. Underneath, you can see now I haven't driven the stakes all the way in. If I were going to do this for a real shelter, I'd drive those stakes all the way down. But as you can see underneath in the front here, that's quite a good bit of space. I'm about 6'2". I can get under there no problem at all and take shelter from the rain. And it also is partially covering the bike somewhat too. At least the speedometer and other sensitive electronics and all that other fun stuff. So at least it's a little covered there too. But for me, that's an awesome shelter. So if I were to do this, say, with a bigger tarp, remember I wanted to keep it lightweight, maybe I would put the tarp flat, drive the scooter over it, and then stake it out and lift it up like that and connect it. But that would need double the size of this tarp, and I'm pretty happy with the size I have here right now. So let me give you a look at that from a distance. Okay, there you go. And I know the front doesn't look as well covered as it should be, but it really is actually. There you go. So that's pretty darn cool. I gotta say, for a quick, even with doing it the first time and figuring out how to do it, it took me all of maybe 10 minutes to get it up like that. And again, this is really just for protecting me from extreme sun. If I get stuck somewhere and I got to sit out and wait for somebody to come rescue me, and it's sun beating down on me at 115 degrees out here. And also to rescue me from rain or other hail or anything like that, because we do get some really serious downpours out here sometimes. And if you're riding along, that's not fun. It also gives me a little bit of a shelter should I have to camp out. And I can cook under there, a little corner here, so I got room to put my stove there, whatever, and it's not anywhere near the top, so definitely really comfortable in there. Let's get down inside and take a look and see what it's like underneath. So I'm going to get myself under there and kind of move the camera around and show you what it's like underneath the tarp. Alright, so I'm underneath here, pretty comfortable. Everything is pretty much within reach. If I need to lean on something down here, I have more than ample enough room to move around. I'm completely sheltered underneath. As you can see, everything's pretty good, all in all. Pretty darn comfortable under here. Don't mind the other camera. So it's definitely a comfortable little spot under here. If I had to be under here, say for taking shelter or sleeping even, I could sleep out you know, like this way, lengthwise, no problem, because there's a lot of room. It's hard to show here, but there's a lot of room that way, so I'll be good there. All in all, pretty cool. Definitely a nice little quick shelter. Now, what I want to do with this eventually is go out, you know, let me back out of here a little bit, go out and kind of do little outdoor videos with the scooter. You see how easily I was able to get out of there. So go out and do little outdoor videos, maybe test out stoves and stuff, and, you know, now with the ease of setting this up that quickly, that's really, really simple to do. So I'm going to bring the tarp back inside, pack it up how I'd pack it for storage, and we will finish the video. Alright, so that's it. It's way lighter than the other system that I had in there. I have my sides here all, and you notice I burned up my tips there, so it's all nice and neat. I have my sides here with my carabiners on them and my loop. I got my spikes, my tent stakes in there, and I got the paracord wrapped around it. A much lighter thing than this big, heavy, I mean, this thing weighs completely with nothing in it. Probably a little bit more than this, totally. So definitely pleased with it. I do have a little bag on my back of my bike. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm going to bring you over there and see if this will fit in there. If not, we'll just stick it down into the seat with the rest of the survival gear in there. And I'm going to do a video on what I have in there for emergencies. It's not a ton of stuff, but it's enough if I break down on the side of the road, I can take care of myself. So let's see if this fits in the bag over there. And if not, we'll just stick it in the base, the trunk of the scooter. And we'll be good to go. So, be right back. Alright, so it does fit in there, as you can see. It's a little tall, that's because of the stakes. I could mush it down a little more if I didn't have to worry about them. But it's okay, it's going to be just, you know, there. The reason I want it like this is I want quick access. I can grab it right away, pull it out, put it on my bike quickly, and cover up in the event of a nasty storm or any kind of thing like that. So, definitely a cool little system. Definitely smaller and lighter. Again, you know, you don't want to load up the scooter with a ton of stuff. If you get one of these, remember, they're 50cc. They're only going to go 25, 30 miles an hour. Especially with, you know, I weigh about 220, and I'm 6'1.5", 6'2"-ish. And, yeah, it's, you know, it's not going to drive you 60, 70 miles an hour. So you got to be conscious of weight a little bit. But I think that's pretty cool. I think that works out pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it, and I thank you guys for taking the time out today to watch this. This was just kind of an off-the-cuff experimental video. I did buy it for that reason, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go out there and do it and see if it works. And if it doesn't, hey, it'll be my first fail video. So anyway, came out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it. You know, there'll be changes to it, and I'll take you through as we change stuff around on the scooter and do different stuff. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. So I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out all our links down below. Our Amazon store, our freeze-dried wholesalers down there. You get a 15% discount just for clicking that link. We have our Thrive Life and our Food for Patriots link, which is preparewithiridium.com. And I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.